We will make this the most honest, ethical, and open Congress in history.
So Marty Kady is the Congressional Bureau Chief for Politico.com. And Marty, a lot of talk about ethics as we head into this week ahead. Two key Democrats in Congress facing ethics questions. Charlie Rangel, of course, last week, but now we hear of Maxine Waters.
We're about to get our hands on a pretty big ethics report alleging charges against Maxine Waters. What we expect this to say is that she attempted to intervene on behalf of a bank called One United with TARP money. The conflict of interest, the ethics problem here is that apparently her husband has had some $250,000 of stock invested in this company, which was, along with a lot of other banks, tanking during the financial meltdown in 2008. And they're going to allege that she may have had a conflict of interest in pushing government money for this bank.
So her husband has stock in the bank, and there was talk that he once served on the board. Is that your understanding?
Yeah, formerly on the board of directors. The bigger picture here is two big ethics cases as the House goes into recess into this sort of brutal election cycle for them. And, there's also this sensitive issue of race here. Politico reported this weekend that a lot of Congressional Black Caucus members are a little upset that the Ethics Committee has targeted two CBC members. And there have been other cases, Roland Burris, Jesse Jackson came up in the whole Blagojevich trial. I mean, no one's been found guilty of anything, but there's this sensitive question of race sort of hanging in the air on current ethics cases.
And you have one source with the Congressional Black Caucus who wasn't named, but who said they sense a dual standard here.
How could we possibly prove that? But if that's a perception among some members of the Black Caucus, then it's going to be the reality with a lot of folks who feel targeted or unfairly standing out in some way. For people that don't understand the House Ethics Committee, it's not partisan. It's divided evenly between Democrats and Republicans.
So let's talk about the stakes here. Speaker Pelosi over the weekend told ABC that she's not concerned, she's not nervous, putting on a defensive front, obviously. But the reality is, when you look at the seats that are in play, particularly when you look at the House, the vast majority are Democrats.
They know that they're going to lose a bunch of seats. Even Steny Hoyer is predicting they might lose 25 or 30 seats. And most of the vulnerable people, though, are not Black Caucus members, of course. It's Democrats in Ohio or North Carolina or Virginia or the Mountain West. Places that held Republican seats just in the last election cycle.
I'm curious, Marty. We did the math here. 39 seats, as we counted, the Republicans would need to take over control of the House. Do you think that that's doable?
It's very doable. I mean, I'm not a prognosticator here, but it's not out of the question. At the low end, when you ask Democrats who are supposed to be optimistic, they're saying, yeah, we could lose 25 to 30 seats. At the high end, if you talk to fairly ambitious Republicans, they could win 40, 45, 50 seats. It's probably somewhere in the middle. So the House is definitely in play. It all just depends on what the mood is of the American people heading into November. The Republicans have a shot at taking over the House.
Marty, thanks so much.
Thank you.